Good evening, folks, and welcome back to Raiders Report Live, your ultimate source for all things silver and black. I'm your host, Jack the Raider Thompson, and boy, do we have a bombshell brewing in the desert tonight. Picture this, the Las Vegas Raiders, those swashbuckling pirates of the NFL, sitting at a frustrating 1-3 start to the 2025 season. Wins are scarce, the offense is sputtering, and now, whispers are turning into roars about one of the team's most beloved warriors potentially jumping ship. That's right, Raider Nation, we're diving headfirst into the swirling rumors that star defensive end Maxx Crosby might be eyeing a trade request. Is this the end of an era for the Mad Max in black and silver? Or just smoke without fire? Stick around as we break it all down, from the gritty details to what it could mean for your Raiders. Let's get into it. First off, let's set the stage with the main event, the rumor that's got everyone from the sports bars in Vegas to the tailgates at Allegiant Stadium buzzing. According to fresh reports trickling out from reliable NFL insiders, Maxx Crosby, the heart and soul of the Raiders' defense, could be considering a trade request if things don't turn around soon. Now, this isn't coming out of left field entirely. The Raiders kicked off 2025 with high hopes after a solid offseason, but early losses to tough AFC foes like the Chiefs and Chargers have left them scrambling. Crosby, who's been a beast on that defensive line, racking up sacks and tackles like it's nothing, has apparently voiced some frustrations behind closed doors. Sources close to the team say he's all about winning, and at 28 years old, in the prime of his career, he doesn't want to waste time on a rebuild. Remember, this is the guy who signed a massive 4-year, $94 million extension back in 2022, making him one of the highest-paid edge rushers in the league. But loyalty only goes so far when playoffs feel like a distant dream. The trade deadline is looming on November 4, 2025, so if this gains traction, we could see fireworks. Now, let's dive deeper into why this rumor is hitting so hard. Maxx Crosby isn't just a player, he's a Raider through and through. Drafted in the 4th round out of Eastern Michigan in 2019, he's the epitome of the underdog story that Raider fans love. No one expected much from him initially. He was this lanky kid with a motor that wouldn't quit. But fast forward, and he's a 3-time Pro Bowler, leading the league in tackles for loss multiple times, and earning All-Pro honors. Last season alone, in 2024, he notched 12.5 sacks, forced 4 fumbles, and was the anchor of a defense that kept the team competitive even when the offense faltered. This year, through 4 games, he's already got 5 sacks and is on pace for another monster year. But here's the rub, the Raiders' overall defense is ranked 22nd in the league right now, giving up over 25 points per game on average. Injuries have hit hard. Think about Colton Miller on the offensive line being sidelined, forcing rookies like DJ Glaze to step up, and the quarterback situation with Aiden O'Connell hasn't exactly lit the world on fire. O'Connell's thrown for just over 800 yards so far, with a touchdown-to-interception ratio that's more meh than magnificent. If Crosby's looking around and seeing contenders like the Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes or the Ravens with Lamar Jackson, you can bet he's thinking, what if? Speaking of analysis, let's break down the tactical side. Crosby's game is all about relentless pressure. He's got that swim move that's unblockable, and his stamina means he plays 90% of snaps without breaking a sweat. In a 4-3 defensive scheme under coordinator Patrick Graham, he's the disruptor who sets up everyone else. Without him, the Raiders' pass rush drops off a cliff. Guys like Christian Wilkins and Tyree Wilson are solid, but they're not Max-level dominant yet. Wilson, the 2023 first-rounder, has shown flashes with 3 sacks this season, but he's still raw. If Crosby goes, you're looking at a massive hole on that edge. Offensively, the team relies on stars like Davante Adams, who's still hauling in contested catches like it's 2022, and Brock Bowers at tight end, but the run game with Zamir White has been inconsistent, averaging under 4 yards per carry. Compare that to past seasons. Back in 2021, when the Raiders made the playoffs, their defense was opportunistic, forcing turnovers left and right. No. They're -4 in turnover differential early on. Stats don't lie. Teams that lose the turnover battle rarely win games, let alone divisions. To give you some historical context, this wouldn't be the first time the Raiders have dealt with trade drama involving a star. Think back to the Oakland days. Yes, before the glitzy move to Las Vegas in 2020. In 2018, they traded away Khalil Mack, another elite edge rusher, to the Bears for draft picks, and it set the franchise back years. Mack was a Raider legend, much like Crosby is becoming, but the team was in rebuild mode under John Gruden. Fans rioted, metaphorically, of course, but it led to picks that eventually became players like Josh Jacobs. Fast forward, the Raiders have a storied history of defensive studs. Howie Long, the Hall of Famer from the 1980s who terrorized quarterbacks and even starred in movies like Broken Arrow. Or Lester Hayes, the sticky-fingered corner with those iconic interceptions in the 1980 Super Bowl win over the Eagles. The Raiders have 3 Super Bowl rings, 11, 15, and 18, and each was built on a ferocious defense. Crosby fits that mold perfectly, with his tattooed arms and that pirate swagger. But the move from Oakland to Vegas brought glamour, Allegiant Stadium, that $2 billion Death Star with its massive LED screens and party atmosphere, but also pressure. Owner Mark Davis wants wins, and with the AFC West being a bloodbath, Chiefs on a three-peat quest, Chargers with Justin Herbert slinging lasers, Broncos rebuilding with Bo Nix, the Raiders can't afford to slip. Let's spice this up with some fictional expert takes, shall we? I caught up, hypothetically of course, with former Raiders great Marcus Allen, the Hall of Fame running back who knows a thing or two about loyalty and championships. He told me, Maxx is the kind of player you build around, not ship out. Back in my day, we stuck together through thick and thin. But if the front office isn't giving him the tools to win, I wouldn't blame him for looking elsewhere. Raider Nation deserves better. Then there's Coach Antonio Pierce, the current headman who's all about that tough, physical identity. In a made-up presser quote, he'd say, Maxx is our guy, period. Rumors are just that, rumors. We're focused on turning this around against the Colts this weekend. And don't forget the fans. Raider Nation is passionate, rowdy, and unforgiving. I imagine a die-hard like superfan Violator in his spiked shoulder pads yelling, Trade Maxx? Over my dead body. He's the reason we show up every Sunday. On the flip side, an anonymous scout might whisper, if the Raiders get a haul, like a first-round pick and a young stud from a contender, it could jumpstart a rebuild. Think Eagles or Lions, they'd kill for Crosby's motor. Now, what about the implications? If this trade happens, it could reshape the entire 2025 season. The Raiders are already flirting with the bottom of the AFC West, and losing Crosby might tank their playoff odds, currently sitting at around 15% according to oddsmakers. On the bright side, a trade could net them assets for the 2026 draft, where quarterbacks like Shedeur Sanders or Carson Beck might be available. Predictions. I see the Raiders scraping together a 7-10 record if they keep him, maybe sneaking into wild card contention with a hot streak. Without 4-13 territory, picking top 5 in the draft. But hey, remember 2002? The Raiders went to the Super Bowl with a veteran squad. Could history repeat if they rally? Pop culture tie-in. This feels like a plot from Any Given Sunday, where Al Pacino's coach fights to keep his stars. Or think of Crosby as the NFL's version of Thor, mighty hammer, his pass rush in hand, but maybe ready for a new realm. Wrapping this up, Raider Nation, these rumors about Maxx Crosby are a gut punch, but they're also a wake-up call. The Silver and Black have overcome worse, from the Tuck Rule heartbreak to the Gruden email saga. Stay tuned to Raiders Report Live for updates. We'll be live from Allegiant this Sunday as they battle the Colts. Can they turn it around? Grab your gear, rally the crew, and let's show the world why we're the most feared fanbase in sports. Until next time, just win, baby. This is Jack Thompson signing off.